Sure, Agni. So I'll just go ahead and share my screen. And yesterday, as Deepika mentioned, that maybe in today's call, we can look up to build a sample mapping function that a mapping custom function, I'm sorry. So a sample custom mapping function, which we can use. And also we can try and cover up the remaining of the adapters that Mahesh had sent. So I'll just go ahead and quickly open the Eclipse. Just a moment.
And Aditya, if I'm not mistaken, you have a flight to catch, or you have to go to the airport, right, today?
No, I am at the airport actually.
Oh, you're at the airport now? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I just dropped my elder nephew. He came visiting this whole week.
Okay.
So you're flying, Aditya?
No, Raidu, I'll be coming back. And that is the reason I requested that in case if we can have it only for 1 hour, because if I leave from here at around 10:30, so one of my friends, he'll be ordering the food for me at his home and I'll catch the food over there and then I'll go home. So it would be quite late.
Oh, man.
Yes. So, I just wanted to mention that please just ignore the background noise, if any. There are a lot of people over here.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so I'll just close this one. This one was the sample iFlow we had. Then we have the sample training iFlow. Well, maybe we can try and write a function over here itself. So I'll just quickly. The properties.gsh is available over here. And we have, I think the WSTLs as well. Yeah. Okay. So I'll just open this. Actually, I might have corrupted the iFlow by integrating the user data parallel for my testing purposes. So anyway, we'll just try and see if it gets deployed. And I'll try to have a mapping function over here. So we'll first go ahead and create a mapping, maybe before the content modifier, so that we need not make any kind of XSD level changes. So we'll just map something over here. Okay, and I'll create a new message mapping. Okay, now here in the source and target element, I believe everybody is aware of this. So we'll just take a very small entity, maybe a user get. So it has only 3 fields. So a similar entity we can, the same XSD we can use while calling this web service. So that way it would be easier for us. And here for this entity, we have the user node as mandatory. So we'll just pass one of the users for testing. So as of now, I'll just map it 1-to-1, and then we'll maybe try and supplement, add it from mapping kind of a value in, let's say, the status. Would that be okay? Or is there a specific requirement that you like fetching a property in the mapping, or concatenating 2 values or multiple values like that, if you would like to have? Anyone?
Aditya.
Yes.
Mahesh,
Yes. Yes.
Aditya, see in PI, when we do a mapping from a node A to node B, so there was an option to see the display queue, right?
Yes, Mahesh. Actually,
okay. But here you said that in the message monitoring, you can see those things. So once you're done with this, if you can show that, that will be great.
Yep. So Mahesh, in the message mapping, it doesn't show you that what was the, we'll have to upload it to Web UI. and then we can try with one of the sample payloads. That we can do.
So you mean to say that in web UI you have that option to see the display, right?
Well, it doesn't have display queue. You can only run a test on the mapping. So like you enter the source data, it will just transform it into the target data. So you can just check whether it is working fine or not, but you cannot actually check the values and the context changes, etc.
Okay.
You can't test individual mapping. I mean, individual element, but the whole mapping you can test.
Okay.
So here I'll just, so this UDF is okay. Deepika, if you have any other suggestions.
Deepika, you're on mute, I think. Deepika.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I think she has some headphones issue, maybe.
Is it audible now?
Yeah, yes, Deepika, I'm able to hear you now.
Yeah, is it audible now?
Yes, now it is.
Yeah, Ramesh was looking for something if else condition. Ramesh, can you just tell what exactly are you guys looking for? So that, it will be easy for Aditya.
Yeah. In the functional, we have the if else, without else, like this. We have so many conditions. I want to know what are the...
Okay, in here, or I mean, these are the same functions as PI, so I can just okay, Boolean values, is it? Only the Boolean ones you need to know?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just have one of these. So this is the if then else that we have. Oh, I'm sorry, I think I copied the wrong one. We are looking for a Boolean value. So this is the if then else. Otherwise, you can even have if without else in case if you would like to suppress the value at the target. So when I say suppress, it just means that if the condition doesn't match, then you don't even pass a node to the target. So you just suppress it. So in the target XML, even the node is not generated, not even with a blank value. And otherwise the value is passed on to the current corresponding thing. So this is mostly used whenever we have like complex contexts in the source and mostly linear structures in the target. Like for example, you have an employee for which let's say there are based on the genders you want to pass some text. So there can be, well, actually that is a bad example. You will never have multiple for an employee. But yeah, in case if you have any employee node which is repeating multiple times on the source, then in the target, if you have just one node against it, so based on the condition, you need to pass a text and it will only occur once in the employee. Yeah, I think gender would be a good example. So it occurs once and in the target, you need to pass it like out of these three, whichever meets the condition, then you pass it along. So those kind of context changes, like from a multiple context to a linear structure or a complex context to a linear structure, for those we usually use this if then without else, if without else. Okay, so over here, maybe I can just try and check the status in case if the status is coming in as, let's say T or since this is a custom thing, so we'll just check it with the, just a moment. Yeah. So we'll just check it with the active or inactive. Then based on that, we'll pass the status in the target based on our requirements. So I'll just have,
Yeah, Aditya, Rajdeep here.
yes, Rajiv.
Just a quick one while you are doing this. Can we have value level checks? For instance, if we have email ID as an attribute here under user, so can I check for @ symbol for @ and email domain? Maybe if the email ID coming through has .com with it, an @ symbol, something like
Yes,
that.
absolutely. So if you want to validate that it is a correct email ID before you transform it to the target, then also you can go ahead and use this. If
Okay.
then, without else. So
Thank you,
I'm
Aditya.
sure, Rajdeep. And so currently I'm just checking if in case if it is equal to the constant active, then just concatenate it with the value that we'll be passing in P status and concatenate the status. So we'll just set a property so that we even cover up the getting a property function as well as we have concat and if then else conditions. So if it is active, then we are concatenating. Otherwise, we'll just simply pass a constant over here. Something like the employee is not active or something. That works. I've saved it. Close it. The other thing that you need to kind of like make note of or remember in HCI is that whenever you create a mapping, even by right clicking on this node, it still does not assign the map, that particular mapping to this mapping shape. So currently it is just empty. So you need to, after creating it, you need to click on assign mapping and just select the mapping that you have created, like test UDF. So then the mapping gets assigned. I mean, it is not that many a times it happens that when we are already right clicking, so we are setting the context to this mapping shape, but somehow it doesn't reflect. It usually reflects over there, but in this case, it doesn't. So that has been created. Now I'll just set a property. Just a moment. Message transform. Content modifier. Status. No. So I'm just trying to create an XSD out of it. Just a moment. This should do it, I think. So, Bakao, I'll just paste it over the chat. Can you help me test it with SOAP UI?
Okay. Aditya,
Okay. Yes, Bakao.
you want me to test in SOAP?
Yes, not yet. I'll just
Okay.
quickly. Okay, if it hasn't removed the row correctly. Yeah. So you can just enter some value like active and then try with inactive. Maybe run 2 tests. So we can check it in the.
Aditya,
Yes, Bakao.
I'm saying for this payload you pasted, right?
Yeah. Hello. You able to hear me?
Aditya, can you look,
Yes.
can you
Yes,
look, can you
Bakao.
look at the payload? You look at the root element for this. You say user.
Yes. Yes.
Or it's supposed to be users. Then you have user. Because you have the root element as user, then you have one of the child element as user again.
Yeah, that is fine. Absolutely fine, Bakao.
Okay.
User and then again user, and then you have status, ethnicity, and default locale.
Okay.
So I think that
So
is
I'm just going to put this in.
for user status. Yeah. So just paste it within the body tags wherein you have the current payload.
Okay.
So under the body in the request side, you can paste it and pass the status as active with A in uppercase and anything in ethnicity and default locale. That should be fine because we are not checking those 2 fields anyway. And meanwhile, I'll just quickly open my mailbox. I think it should have already been deployed. I'll even open the web UI as well.
Aditya,
Yes, Bakao.
can you help me with I think I restarted my machine, so I've lost that endpoint.
Yeah, endpoint I'll just provide you. I'm just checking that whether it has started. If it has, then I'll just provide you with the endpoint.
Okay.
It has been started. So Bakao, I have just sent you over the chat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Aditya, I think you need to give me that credential again.
Oh, okay. Just a moment. I'll get that for you. Just a moment, Bakao. I'm trying to. Okay, there it is. Now. So this is the user, and I'll just send you the password for it.
Okay.
So once we test it, then I can just explain you that what was the source value that we entered and how the target got transformed. And in case if we have any questions on any of the property steps, you can just take that.
Okay. For the body, you gave me the body for.
Yep. So I'll just.
Yeah, I sent. I just sent the plain vanilla request. So let me put the body now.
Okay. Yeah, I just received the emails.
Chat window is really crazy now. So I'm sending it again.
Okay.
So for status, we're passing in active, capital A.
Okay, sure.
I've sent.
Okay.
But no response yet.
That lasted only 140 milliseconds. So can you please try to send it again?
Okay. Okay, you should have it now.
Yeah, this only lasted for 26 seconds. Oh. Issue with this. As I mentioned earlier, that I may have corrupted the iFlow, so I'll just download it again and I'll do these changes. It says it has been deployed. Yep, it shows up at started. Can you try it once, Pakao? It's showing up at started now. It might have both of these. Okay, so I think it has been changed because of overwriting. So we'll just okay. So let me maybe cover this up as well. So whenever, let's say, for example, if you have a requirement of copying one of the iFlow under different name, so just if you right click on sample one training and you copy it and you paste it over here.
Aditya, can you share your screen?
We can see your screen, okay?
Oh, okay. My bad. I might have accidentally. Okay, so are you able to view it now?
Yeah.
Okay. So whenever, let's say you have a requirement of copying an iFlow and you wish to under a different name, basically, just to test a few of the changes before we make changes to the actual iFlow. So or else if you want to take a backup as an archive version under a different name. So you can just right click on the root folder and copy this, and then again right click over here and paste it, and the project name would be used as anything, for example, sample 2 training. I'll just okay it. Okay, so just copying this particular resource under different name doesn't make changes to the iFlow. So first of all, you should even rename the iFlow. Let's say we'll just rename it to sample2 training.iflw. Otherwise, there might be a conflict while deploying. It may try and tend to overwrite the other versions. And after renaming the iFlow, you need to explore the meta-inf folder, double click on manifest.mf and search for bundle name. So if you see over here, okay, this was a corrupted one. So look, the bundle name is reflecting a different name. So this is the name of the bundle under which it would be shown. And the symbolic name of the iFlow would be the actual name of the iFlow, which will be shown as deployed. So we need to change it as well. So sample2 underscore training. Oh,
No, look at the spelling. Look at the spelling of train. Okay, yeah. Good.
I actually accidentally hit page down. So, okay, so that one is done. And over here, if you see, it is bundle symbolic name. So here also you need to change the same name, sample2 underscore training.
So the two of them must align, right? The two names.
The names, yes, absolutely. They should. Well, ideally, if I say they may be different. I mean, the bundle symbolic name is the name of the iFlow that is shown up.
Okay.
And the symbolic name over here, the bundle name, this is the name of the project.
Okay.
So that is what we have seen in the past. Now, I have never tried keeping them different. We usually copy and paste the same names. But maybe we can do one thing. Just a moment. I'll just quickly try it for you. So create a new integration project. I'll just give the project name as
project
1. And over here, this is the iFlow name. So I'll just say it as iFlow 1.
Okay.
And once I finish it, we can check the meta-inf of this particular project to verify it right away. Uh-oh.
System is Eclipse problem.
Yes.
Okay.
It opened. Okay. So it shows up the, okay, this is a different view of it. Just maybe open with text editor.
Okay. Bundle
So
name.
both the names are, that means are of the package itself.
Okay.
So under which package it is getting deployed. Like for example, when you're viewing the logs, here you can see this is the integration flow name, and then you have integration flow ID.
Okay.
So I just thought maybe that would be the case. I'm not sure on that actually.
Anyway, I think we'll worry about that.
Only the project name then.
Yeah.
We don't have.
Well, can you search for iFlow 1 anywhere here? Let's see whether it's coming up anywhere.
Nope, it's not there.
Interesting.
Okay. So, well, usually we tend to rename the iFlow as well so that it doesn't conflict with the existing iFlow. So that I think should have covered it already. Then the same sample 2 training, I'll just take it and I'm sorry, I'll just make changes to sample 1 itself. Otherwise, the endpoint conflict will arise because the endpoints of both the web services would be the same. Okay, it seems to be starting it now. I just started. Yes, Pakao, can you try it now?
Okay. Error.
Okay, let's see what the error is. Okay, Bakao, can you please send me the full payload that you are trying to post to the web service?
Okay.
It seems to not
Maybe
have any.
there's a misalignment, right?
Yeah, including the SOAP envelope,
Okay.
headers, etc. Everything.
You have it?
Okay, let me just try to check it. Actually, okay, there it is. Oh, well, Bakao, the body is not properly formed. You need to remove the query parts.
Okay.
You are in query till you are in query, and just pass user status, ethnicity, default locale.
Okay, so we remove the complete query part.
Absolutely.
I'm sending now.
Okay. Okay, another error. Line 50. So there seems to be some issue with.
There's still an error.
Yep. Oh, the script here has been replaced. Okay. I think it overrode the script as well.
Wow.
That is why, I mean, all these, it is that picklist script that we were using. So just give me 1 minute. I'll quickly open another Eclipse version. I'll download the current, oh, okay, I don't think so. We'll have it anywhere. Yeah. Okay, I think we might have it. Yeah, I think this is good. So I'll just Notepad plus copy it. Bakao, can you try it now? Okay, just give it a moment. It's still starting. Okay, you can try it now. Hello.
Baka, you're on mute.
Aditya, can you check it again?
Okay.
Yeah. Sure. Check the log. It's still falling.
It's giving some kind of weird errors. I might have corrupted it actually. I'm sorry about that. I was just trying to test another iFlow, or view it rather, but it is sending the emails though, I think. Just give me a moment. Okay, so I'll just share my screen. It has sent an email, so maybe I might have made some simple mistake of. So if you see here, it just logs in the body. It has the status coming in as active from content modifier. So yeah, I think active from content modifier is what we wanted. Yeah, Then we were getting the property from if the status is active. Now, Bakau, can you change the status to inactive and try it once, please?
Okay.
In the meantime, I'll just figure out the root cause of failure.
Inactive, right? Capital I.
Okay, it has the XML version over here. That is the reason it is failing. Yes, you can enter any value, Bakau. Even active with a small a will do. So anything is fine.
Okay, I'm sending now.
Sure. So for handling these kind of issues, wherein you have whenever you have the body getting created, which is not the correct. Like for example, you are trying to create a body over here in the content modifier. You are adding the root node, but here the body is coming with XML namespace. So in that case, I just tried with one of the XSLTs. So that is an XSLT. I got it from Google search itself. So it's very easily available, but you can always refer the same XSLT. So it just removes the namespaces. And over here, we are not passing that what is the XML version that should come over here. So it removes the XML version as well while copying the body in local. So I'll just add that as one of the mapping steps so that it can provide a response back to Bakau in the correct XML format. Because unless it is a correct XML format, the SOAP will not reply with any message and it will fail. So I'll just add this mapping step and assign the XSL mapping, which is remove namespaces. So these kind of scenarios do occur a lot of times. For example, if you are splitting the data, whenever you have used a splitter, it tends to give you the XML, that tag over there at the top. So if after that you are using it in any of the content modifiers, you need to take care of that tag. The second use case is wherein you are getting a response from SuccessFactors about the OData upsert or SF API upsert. So usually that comes along with the namespaces. So you may want to check it in a routing condition, whether the status is equal to error or not. So instead of doing all the namespace mappings in your content modifier or at your integration level, and then trying to check over there, instead of that, you can just put in this XSLT to remove the namespaces from here. Okay. So I'll just deploy it, and we can check the So Bakau, can you try it now?
Okay. I'm sending it. Send. It's still bouncing. Aditya?
Oh, I'm sorry, I was speaking on mute. My bad. Bakao, can you please try it once again? I mean, I'm just checking, but I'll just quickly share my screen again. So, it says that it has sent an email, but I'm not receiving any of the emails in my deleted items. So,
Need training on. Aditya, I'm sending the message now.
okay, Bakao.
It's still bouncing.
Yep. And here it is not showing up actually. Not sure what's happening. Yeah, it is failing, stating that failed to read timed out, and earlier, just prior to this message, it was failing at some other point. So that is why I suspect that this may not be an issue with the iFlow. So it says here socket timed out. Yep, and here it says could not generate XML string. So let me try to deploy it again. Okay, so at least we can cover the scripting step over here. So let's go to the mapping. Let's say in case if I wish to create a new custom function, I need to right click on the custom functions tab over here and click on add. Oh, I'm sorry, create. And then you can create under any other name, like script 1, 2, 3, 4. So it automatically gives you a template of a sample function wherein you are returning an argument 1 and you are even supplying an argument single 1. Then once you have set this, in case if you, let's say, wish to read a property, so in those kind of cases, you just need to add one of the context parameter over here. So that one I'll just show you here. So here you need to copy this along with the input that you are having. You need to input the context of the mapping as well. So you need to just manually enter it, because this is not supplied by default, as not all mapping functions will try and fetch the values of properties or set any properties over here. So after that, once you have dragged it, you can use it in this particular format, wherein the property value you can fetch it as context.get property. So similarly, like we used to do for message, like message.get property, in the same way we can do it for context. And whatever is the property value, in case if you wish to return it with some kind of a concatenation or any kind of based on the input whichever is coming. Otherwise, you can directly return the property value over here. Something like return prop value. So this also works absolutely fine. So this will get the property value in the mapping, and we can map it to the target. This helps in cases wherein you have a constant value which may be dynamically coming in based on the after the splitter step for each and every employee. That is the use case for this. So like in the current iFlow walkthrough that we had, in that iFlow we had a case wherein the certificate and the education information of per employee needed to come in a specific format. So in the script, we were formatting it, and then we were setting a property in the script, which we later retrieved it in the mapping step, and we mapped it onto the target structure, whichever was the desired output. Okay, so this is a valid scenario. Otherwise, you can even put any kind of Java scripting steps over here, or any of the Groovy scripting steps over here, and it works absolutely fine. It can compile the statements, but you cannot mix both the languages. But you can write the code in the Groovy scripting, and it would be like any kind of functionality you can create using these custom UDFs on the field level. So Rajdeep, you asked a question wherein the if then else condition was required, or I'm sorry, if without else was required.
I think it's Mahesh or Ramesh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. So no, you told that we can pass the suppress values.
It's Ramesh. Aditya.
Okay, Ramesh. Okay. So I mean, we can put something over here as well. Like prop value can be returned as null. So you can maintain it as null, and it will suppress the response in the target. So that is again one of the things that we can do. Okay, and let me just quickly go ahead and check the status again on this. Yep. So Bakao, can you try it again? It seems to be started now. Let's see if it works.
Okay, I'm sending it now.
Okay, and I am out of power as well.
Okay, we're good now.
You're good? Okay, that's good. So let me check the emails real quick. No, still haven't received an email. Okay, there it is now. So at the end of the iFlow, it has come in. And you see here now the status is coming in as the employee is inactive, and it is returning the response as well correctly. Because due to that XSLT mapping, we have the XML root node now removed. So this turns out to be a valid XML to be passed on as a response. Okay. And this is the value that we are passing. We already checked the content modifier. Otherwise, Bakao, you can test it again since last time it failed. So.
Okay, you want me to send a message again?
Yeah, the message with the status as active with A capital.
Okay.
So at least our get property from content modifier will work in this case. So it should return a status as the this is added by CM or something like that.
Sent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you receive a response on that?
Yeah, I got a response.
Okay. So it is yet to reflect. Yeah, it came, I think. So here we have active from CM. So it is retrieving the property on the field level and it is mapping to the target. So any questions on this part? Do you have anything?
Aditya, Rajdeep here.
Yes, Rajiv.
Aditya, I know it's getting late for you, but can you just take 1 or 2 minutes and brief us about the entire, like what we have done in this exercise? I'm a little lost somewhere, I think.
Oh, okay. Okay, sure. I'll just show you the mapping step, what we were trying to achieve.
Yeah.
So the point here is that just before the mapping, we set a dummy property saying that from CM, that is the value of this dummy property. So in the mapping step, we are just checking in one of the fields, which is status. That is, if the status is coming in as active over here, like we are comparing, if the status field value is equal to the constant active, then we are just passing, then we are fetching the value of p underscore status that we checked it, that we entered in the content modifier. And we are in the UDF, as I explained, we are getting the property from the iFlow context, that is the message context. We are trying to get that property, whichever we have set, and we are concatenating it with the status, and we are sending it as then. So that is why when we see it in the email, in the email it says active, which is the value of status concatenated with the property value, which is from CM. Okay.
All right. Yeah.
And if in the else part, we are just passing a constant as the employee is inactive. So we are mapping it to the target, which is getting returned as one of the web services response. So hence it can be seen in the email that I had configured earlier.
Yeah.
Value is coming in correctly.
All right. Good. Thank you, Aditya.
Sure. Not a problem. So any other questions on this particular part? Otherwise, maybe we can try and cover 1 or 2 adapters. I still have 29 minutes, but yeah, we'll just see. So I can just let you know a few basic adapters, like mail we have already covered, SFTP we have already covered, SOAP adapter, SOAP sender at least we have configured already. SOAP receiver is as good as SOAP sender. We just maintain the
okay.
Yes, Baka.
Yeah, I just want to validate this again, just to confirm my understanding. You mentioned that each time we use maybe the splitter, to split incoming payload into individual records.
Yes.
You said something about applying the SSLT, to remove the XML prologue before we do the gather, right?
Baka, no, not before we do the gather, but it is in cases like over here, I had used a content modifier to create a body manually.
Okay.
So in that case, I cannot, in this $n.body, I cannot write some code over here to remove the XML prologue.
Okay, so that's for the original payload coming in. So the prologue is still with the body, right?
Absolutely. So it has that XML prologue, and once we attach a root node to it, it doesn't identify it as a valid XML node.
Correct.
Prologue is
okay.
This happens in cases wherein you have, like you are altering the body manually. Otherwise, in gather, it works absolutely fine. So if you are splitting, then you are doing a mapping step, and then maybe you are gathering it without changing the body anywhere. Then even with the XML prologue, it works absolutely fine. We need
okay. Just to extrapolate your explanation. So if for instance we're using a splitter, each of those records will come out as individual XML, right? Or
absolutely.
Okay, but we don't necessarily have to apply the SSLT mapping to remove the. But
Yes.
I'm actually just
It is not
curious.
a mandatory step. It is not a mandatory step.
Okay, because I would have actually loved to see, what comes out for individual, maybe tomorrow, because I know, time is almost gone now. We just see what comes out. I want to see the output of each of these, splitter to see the way, so that we know what to do,
So, Bakau, I mean, splitter primarily works on a very, a normal XSLT split kind of a thing, wherein you just have, for example, if I have specified that splitter should be user/user,
Mm-hmm.
then in case if the user, this node currently it is cardinality is 1:1, but usually it is 0 to unbounded,
Many.
sorry,
Yeah.
1 to unbounded.
Yeah.
So if there are multiple users coming under this root node, it
Mm-hmm.
will create an XML like user/user and then one user node only.
Correct. Okay.
And that's it. I mean, that is how, if there are n number of users, it will create n messages over there. So as I mentioned, the splitter, you can either try and process them in parallel, otherwise you can stream them. Now that depends upon the use case. Let's say if you're having a case wherein you are setting a few of the properties, like in our case, we are setting a few of the properties over here. Okay, and we are retrieving it in the mapping. So we don't want the whole payload to pass through this.
Yeah.
So, I mean, parallel executions shouldn't be there, basically.
Okay, I think my concern is I'm just, I just wanted to be sure that when the splitter is done its job, those individual records, like what you showed just now, user, each of those individual records, they don't have the prologue appended. We don't need to worry about the prologue being appended to each of those individual records, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. That's exactly what I'm trying to validate.
Absolutely. I mean, as I mentioned, that if you are having content modifier and you are changing the body manually, then only you should care about those XML prologues. Otherwise, if you are doing any of the standard steps, it doesn't matter.
Okay. Thanks.
Sure. So, any other questions? Okay. So we'll move to the SOAP receiver, wherein you are trying to call a web service, and you can. So I have configured a SOAP receiver over here, and in the adapter specific, it asks you for the endpoint URL, the proxy type, and the WSDL, whichever you might have gotten from the web services server. So that WSDL you can browse, it automatically picks up the service and the endpoint. And then you can, even it picks up the operation name from the WSDL itself, if it is mentioned. Otherwise, these four values, in fact, can be blank as well. It doesn't matter, as long as you know the address of the web service and you are passing the correct payload. So it actually doesn't matter in case if you do not have a WSDL. You need to compile it manually in that case. Okay, then you can select the on-premise proxy type as well, wherein the on-premise proxy type, it automatically tries to find a connection to the HANA Cloud connector. And in this on-premise kind of a case, usually we go ahead with the SAP reliable messaging, because this is how the SAP web services are called. So as of now, I have seen only the use case for this. I'll just change it. So as of now, the proxy, on-premise proxy use case, I have only seen for SAP connections, for the SAP web service connections. I'm not sure in case if the on-premise can be used for connecting any of the other on-premise web services that we may have from other legacy systems. Let's say a .NET system exposing a web service. So at HCI, I'm not sure whether it can access that particular using the on-premise proxy. Then that being said, you can even have the WS security, like manual configuration, as we checked it in one of the earlier adapters. The web services sender adapter also has it. Then you may have policies in the WSDL. You can secure the WSDL using WS:policy tag. So based on those policies, it validates the credentials. So the user ID and password is validated again, then the private and the public keys. You can just mention over there. Then that should do it. Yeah. So this is the type. I'm sorry, I missed the authentication. So you can either select the basic authentication, otherwise you can connect with client authentication. So client authentication, that means that your tenant has the necessary certificates deployed, because the call at the end of the day is going through the tenant from one of the work processes node. So we should have the certificate installed in this case. Okay, and moving on to any of the other, any questions on the SOAP receiver adapter? I'm actually trying to rush through things over here. IDOC, HTTP, HTTP, maybe we can cover. This is another basic. IDOC is used only in cases, I'm sure it is supported as of now, but even the cost center duplication, replication to success factors, which is based on an IDOC scenario, wherein the IDOCs are posted from your SAP system. They are received in HCI through, but they are not done through the IDOC adapter. They are currently making use of web services adapter. So as I mentioned earlier in, I believe it was yesterday's session, wherein we have to configure an HTTP kind of port in WE21 and assign it to an HTTP type RFC destination. It gives a call to your HCI system through the HANA Cloud Connector. So those kind of configurations we need to do. But as of now, it is supported by the SOAP adapter itself. So even the SAP standard is not using the IDOC adapter as of now. Then, yes, Bakao.
Okay, so that's the IDOC as a sender, right, or as a receiver?
Yep. Well, this one is as a receiver. So IDOC as a sender, we can configure over here.
But that means this is coming from the. Okay, let's just. I just want to see the configuration, the config.
Okay. Shall I open the config?
Yeah, just open the config. Okay, so everything is still tied to SOAP.
Well, I'm not sure on the underlying protocol, Bakao, on this particular scenario. So I'm not sure whether it is based out of SOAP, but yeah, the address looks like it has to be an HTTP kind of a call. So maybe it still works on the same principle wherein they create they send the IDOC to an HTTP port.
Yeah.
So that could be one of the cases. I mean, I'm not sure.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I think we will take it further from there. I mean, you can't get a better training, than this. Even if you go to SAP training, it's just all nonsense training that you get.
Thanks, Bakao. Okay, so I'll just select any of the other adapters over here. SFTP, we have already covered. Mail, we have already covered. OData, we usually use to connect to any of the OData providers in, let's say, third-party systems, wherein the SuccessFactors OData adapter will not work because that works on the SuccessFactors login, logout, and session maintenance. So that would not work. So we can directly have an OData kind of a client created over here, and we can provide the OData addresses and the operation details. So as the name suggests, OData also works on the EDMX principles. So I have, again, I have not tried to call it using a SuccessFactors adapter because the only restriction is that SuccessFactors has the authentication mechanism as user ID @company ID and then the password in OData, I'm saying, in OData version 2 calls. So that is the reason, and you cannot use an HTTP kind of credential over there. So it cannot make use of basic credentials, basic authentication credentials, because it throws you an error while saving the scenario. So this is another one. Herein you can maintain the details. You can create the content type as Atom or JSON. So Atom is nothing plus, but content type is application/Atom plus XML. And you can even have the JSON type of format wherein the content type is application/JSON only. And then you can specify your authentication over here, like basic, or you're using the client certificate. In basic, you can provide the credential name. Okay. Again, I've never tried using a success factors credentials over here, but in case if required, we can always create it as a basic authentication and we can use it over here. So we can maybe at times make use of this one in case if some functionality is not currently supported. So one of the use cases on this front would be that the in operator in HCI, which is supported by the success factors query language, is not supported by HCI. It is unable to tokenize it as of now. So it only has, even in the drop down under the model operation, it only has very few operators listed. It doesn't have in operator listed as of now. So that is the constraint HCI has. So in those kind of scenarios, maybe we can try and make use of OData adapter, but usually we do bypass it by manually editing the, oh, sorry, not manually editing, my bad, but writing, yes, manually editing and writing the operation details as this or this, like combining them with the OR condition. So in cases of dynamic queries, currently I have not seen it working, your data adapter. Okay. Then apart from OData, we even have Ariba and Facebook connectors. So Ariba adapter, Ariba is a vendor management site. So vendors interact with the customers and they need to replicate the purchase orders and the materials. So it is a manufacturing kind of scenario wherein you can even have service orders or purchase orders being replicated from your Ariba system, or the contracts, the vendor contracts being replicated from Ariba to your SAP system. So PI already has an Ariba adapter, and the same concept is over here as well. So you have almost similar fields to configure, but usually, I mean, between success factors and Ariba, I'm not sure whether there would be ever a scenario. So as I mentioned yesterday, there is always a business constraint. If you have bought HCI as a package with success factors, one of the end has to be success factors. So that is why these kind of scenarios may not occur in our landscape, wherein success factors is integrating with Ariba. And I just wanted to mention over here that the battery is almost dead, so I may get cut off. So.
Okay, Aditya, no problem.
Yes, Agni, I think I just have 10 minutes.
For the last 10-15 minutes, it is just going low. So.
Yes. Okay, so anything else in case if you have, please feel free to send me an email. My email ID is aditya.sharma@outlook.com. So please send me an email if you have any of the queries. And
now, what I would suggest, Aditya, what I would suggest is let them send an email to me, and then we will route it that way, so that we have the records, all the records, like whatever queries has come in. So it comes at one point, and then you take your time to. And I consolidate all
that would be, yes, yes, Agni, that is another constraint I forgot to mention, that I may not be able to reply it.
Exactly.
So that helps. Thank you. Thank you.
I'll consolidate everything and shoot out to you. Then you take your time and respond to those. Okay.
Okay. So I think it will go off now.
Right.
And,
Aditya, first of all, thank you so much. This has been incredible training for everybody as far as we're concerned. I don't know about others. Bakav, Srikan, everybody, you can, whoever has any more questions, they can shoot the emails. And if required, we will also have another one session based on the questions received from now through Monday. So we will not have a session. Oh, he's not.
Yeah, his battery.
So, okay. So he is not available. There's no session tomorrow, right?
No session tomorrow. Yeah, this is the last one.
Okay. Now, let me ask, anyway, Aditya is not there, right? Bakao, how do you feel the training?
The training is good. It's okay. It's very useful. It's added value to me. And I think Aditya should open a training shop. He should open a training shop. He's an excellent teacher. For me, I think I've gained a lot from the training. You know, I mean, if I compare where I am now to where I was at the beginning of the training, I think I've made a tremendous movement. So I've gained a lot. It's been very impactful, positively, you know, on my knowledge, you know, with regards to HCI. So I'm good. Aditya, thank you so much. Well done. Good job.
Yeah, Aditya is not there in the call. We got disconnected.
Yeah, but anyways, I will share the recording, so he'll definitely listen to that.
Okay,
Yeah.
no, one thing I wanted to tell all of you is I was evaluating so many companies, so many people on the training since last almost 2 months. But however, I could not get what I wanted, which Aditya brought to the table. So, thank you so much for him for taking this initiative at such a short notice. So, Rajdeep, you had a good training sessions?
Yeah. So I just wanted to mention a couple of things here. I'm actually a rookie when it comes to integration, right? So when it comes to any, I have worked closely with the integration team, but I don't understand the integration terms so wisely. But this training had really made it. I mean, Aditya, I'm sincerely thankful to you. It had made some sense to me. Now I understand the terms and terminologies. I do understand that I need to go through the recordings over and again to understand it better, and I'll route the questions through Agni as well. But I'm really thankful to all of you for this one. This is really good.
I appreciate you joining every day, Rajdeep. That gives us the motivation also. So that's good. Thank you for joining us in this training session.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Srikanth, you have any? Srikanth is hiding always. I don't.
No, Raidu. Actually, I'm here in Baton Rouge. You are not here. You in the month of September mid.
Yeah. So I'll be there I'll be there next week. So.
Oh, okay.
Great, Patricia. Okay. Good. So any other, Mahesh, did you get what you wanted?
Yes, I do. We got what we wanted. Only thing is now we need to listen to the video again and again, and we need to do a lot of practice on this.
Correct.
Yes, exactly. So a bit of homework is required.
A lot of homework is required as far as my knowledge, because as and when you go from adapter to adapter, when you start checking each level, so then a lot of questions will pop out.
Exactly.
So at least, to be honestly, at least next 2 to 4 weeks is if you focus completely like 5 to 6 hours a day.
Yeah.
I think by end of the next 6 weeks or 4 weeks, I think we'll be in a good position on this, right?
Exactly. So I would just request Agni and Raidu to support on this part as well. If in any case we get any question, please help us to route it through.
Absolutely, and I'm also willing to host another session if you get many questions, and I will have Aditya to schedule another session for all of us.
Maybe after a week or so, Raidu, that would help really help.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Monday is very early, Radu. Just give us time, so we'll all developers will consolidate and then.
No problem. 1 week, 2 weeks, not at all a problem.
Yeah, but it seems to me that, you know, Radip and Mahesh, they already have some kind of platform where to practice. Am I missing something?
Yeah, we have a platform to practice.
I will have to check it out because I don't think I have one, but I will have to check it.
I think I'll check it.
It's the same platform what you have, Bakao. So I'll be doing on that.
Okay. Yeah, but I think we still need a steer from Rido and Agni on how to progress that, because you know, I think anyway we'll take that offline. You know, we'll discuss that.
Sure, because I will be there next week. I'm there, man.
Okay. I will sit here.
Sure. Okay, guys. Thank you so much, and we will look forward to another session if it is required in future. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks so much. Thanks so much for attending this. Agni, thanks so much for the organization.
Thank
you
so
much, Radu, for the platform. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Have a great weekend.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye.
To everyone as well.